Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another patron portrait live stream. Today I'm going to be drawing Maria von Trapp in The Sound of Music, played of course by the lovely Julie Andrews. I'm so excited to be drawing her. She has the most lovely face, and she's kind of in that movie. I feel like she's just the personification of like ray of sunshine. She's just so brilliant and fantastic with such an amazing voice. Oh my goodness, I'm hearing myself on the stream. There we go. That was so weird. All of a sudden my voice started echoing. I was like, what is happening? There we go. Problem resolved. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Hope you're having a great week. And I think it's just time to get started. Let's jump right in here. I'm excited. So we're going to continue. We're going to start without further delay. And I'm going to try really hard not to break my Conte pencil again today. We've had some rough luck with that lately. Hello, B-dubs. Welcome to the stream. I have just been breaking this Conte pencil like crazy lately, so we're gonna try to show some restraint today. This is probably the last time I'm gonna use this one. I really need to buy a new one because it's so short that I can barely hold it now, so it is on its last leg. Served its purpose well. It's been a good Conte pencil, but it's near the end of the line here. And yes, I'm going straight for the eyes today. We're not gonna dance around them today. We're going right for them. Told you guys, drawing eyes is my favorite part, and sometimes I just get so excited. I can't wait. Yes, B-dubs, ask away. How do you solve a problem like Maria asking for a friend? I don't know. I don't know, B-dubs. You find her the love of her life, that's what you do. You find her the man of her dreams, that's how you solve a problem like Maria. I was very surprised, honestly, when I was browsing the web for the perfect reference picture last night, at the lack of reference pictures. Like, The Sound of Music is one of the most famous movies of all time. And there was such an appalling lack of images. Like, there were just a few. And this was the best one that I found. And unfortunately, like, I'm kind of having to work with it a little bit because it's not super HD clear picture. Like, it's a little fuzzy, it's a little pixelated. So it was kind of that way with the picture I used of Walter Brennan in Rio Bravo, and you just kind of have to work with it a little bit because you don't have quite the same level of detail that you do in other images. But I was really surprised by that there was such a lack of images of Julie Andrews and The Sound of Music. I was like, what is happening? Because, like, I don't have time to, for one, I can't keep all these movie files on my computer. because I would run out of storage very quickly, so I have to get rid of the movie files like as I watch movies. And so I can't just like pull up the full movies and grab in like a high res image. So I usually just like go to Google and browse and see what I can find, and I was just very surprised, I have to say. But luckily I did find this picture, which I really, really like, so I just wish it was a little bit more high res, but it was good enough to use. And I really like the shot of her. I like her expression in this one. It's great. I would guess most of the still shots were landscape shots or group shots with all the children or the festival set. Yeah, I mean, or like the majority of them were like her, you know, with her arms spread out in the field, you know, at the start of the movie. And obviously I couldn't use that because I wanted a close-up, not a full body shot, so I couldn't use any of those either. That's what a lot of them were. Like another one was her when she's like dancing and singing, when she's like going up to the house, which I love that outfit, by the way. It's one of my favorite costumes of hers in the movie. Where do I want to go here? You know what? I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know when I will get a chance to sit down and watch all of the Sound of Music again, but I want to at some point because that has to be one of my favorite reactions I've ever done on my channel. I loved that movie so much more than I was anticipating. Musicals aren't really my thing. They have to be very special musicals because generally, like, I like them, but they're not my favorite. And The Sound of Music was really special. And just, yeah, I got really emotional watching that one. Hit all the right beats for me. Loved it. Loved the music. I feel like I should be listening to the Sound of Music soundtrack while I draw this. Doesn't feel right to be doing it without it, but that would be a really quick way to get this stream demonetized. There's another YouTuber, Reactor Eddie Counts, who is an actor. She starred as Maria in her local theater production. Cool. Awesome. Don't you have relatives who are musicians? Yes, I do. I have a cousin named Karen who has her own band called The Deer's Cry. Plug. And she does a lot of folk music, specifically Irish music. That's her passion, is Irish music in particular, but she likes all kinds of different folk music. And I believe she's done two albums now, and she'll be doing a third. Very proud of her and very grateful and fortunate to have had the opportunity to collaborate with her on both of her albums, doing the artwork for the album cover and other promotional art. It's been a lot of fun working with her. And she also did the music for my trailer for Gone Outlaw, my first novel. So, and she also did the rendition of Long, Long Ago that I used in the teaser trailer for Cimarron Dove, my new book. She did the arrangement of that and sang. She did a wonderful job. Don't think anyone would mind listening to that while you draw. What are you referring to, B-dubs? Which music are you referring to? Hello, Michael. good afternoon, or it's still technically morning here, but not for much longer. My cousin's music? Well, you know what? I could do that. That should not be a demonetizing issue with YouTube, hopefully. Let me pull that up in just a second. I would have to find the right volume too, so that it's not too, like if people want to listen to something else while they're watching the stream. Let me see here. Please wait while I pull up my Spotify. Oh, let me make sure. I'm gonna mute the stream over here. And turn this up. Oh goodness. I haven't used my Spotify in a while, so I have to log back in. Ugh, for real? Okay, scratch that. We're not gonna use Spotify. I don't think I even have a premium membership anymore. Let me try to pull it up on her YouTube channel. Yeah, she does have a YouTube channel for anyone interested. It's under The Deer's Cry. There's a lot of versions of The Deer's Cry prayer that have been sung, so you might want to type in The Deer's Cry band if you're looking for it, so that you get her specifically and not some other rendition of the song. Darn it, the whole album is not on here. Why is... Wait. Sorry guys, I'm trying to type with one hand. I don't understand why. I'm trying to get back to Spotify because she doesn't have the whole album just on YouTube, and I wanted to just be able to hit play and not have to like click to separate videos. I don't understand what's happening though, because Spotify says I'm not a premium user, so I can't get in. That is so weird. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to iTunes. I know I can use iTunes. Sorry guys, I did not think this was gonna be this difficult. I'm working on it. There we go. Okay. We are just gonna get it all pulled up on iTunes here. Oh my gosh, iTunes, come on. Oh. Can you guys tell that I usually just play music on YouTube? I don't use iTunes or Spotify much anymore. Okay. I actually had not downloaded them on iTunes, but we have got it downloading right now. There we go. Okay. Why don't we go with album number 1 first? Wonder if we can fit in both albums in 2 hours. We're about to find out. Okay, guys, I've got it playing. Y'all can let me know if you can hear it, or if it's too loud, too quiet. Hope one day you can react to a non-Western Clint Eastwood film, Honky Tonk Man. He plays a country Western singer-songwriter during the Depression. Oh, interesting. His oldest son, Kyle, co-stars. He's traveling from California through the Dust Bowl for an audition at the Grand Ole Opry. Oh, that sounds very interesting, B-dubs. Yes, the YouTube channel is Under the Deer's Cry. Correct. Okay, now, got everything situated. This is nice. This is what I'm actually used to, because usually when I'm drawing, I always have music on. Like, I'm never making art without music. Whether I'm drawing or painting, I always have music going. It's just when you're live streaming, you have to be careful. I feel like it's a little quiet. I'll turn it up a little more. Here we go. How did your cousin get interested in Irish music? Both my late parents immigrated from Ireland in the late 1940s. Oh, interesting, Michael. Um, I don't know. You would have to ask her. She's always been into that. She learns Gaelic and sings in Gaelic, and that's just always been a passion of hers, and I don't know where exactly that came from. I mean, she's very classically taught in music, so I guess at some point during her music education, she was exposed to Irish music and she just had a passion for it. I can't remember. I think she's been to Ireland. I think she's definitely been to Scotland. She is quite well traveled. She's been to a lot of different countries in Europe. She took a trip to France this year, I think. But she's filmed music videos in some really cool places. If you look at the music videos on her YouTube channel, I think she filmed the one video I'm thinking of in Ireland. It was really cool. She started throwing in some Americana too into some of her music, which I love because I love country music and American folk music, and she did more of that on her second album. You're looking, B-dubs, and you can't find it. Will YouTube let me put a link in the chat? I'm gonna try that. Un momento. There you go, B-dubs. I copied and pasted the link to her channel in the chat. No problem, B-dubs. Happy to help. And thank you for giving her some clicks. I appreciate it. She's so talented and she's such a sweet and kind soul. She deserves all the applause, all the clicks. And like me, she's taken the difficult path of doing independent music, which I'm doing self-publishing over in the book world and the writing world, and it's hard when you go the independent route to do all the work yourself, and it is so hard, but it's very rewarding having that creative control. I wonder if it's something genetically, honestly. Like, I've also always loved like Celtic music, and oh my gosh, Celtic woman, love them. Um, but yeah, any just kind of like Gaelic, Celtic, Scottish, Irish, I love all of that music, and I've always listened to it. Um, and it's so relaxing too. I think part of it came from my love of fantasy and Tolkien and that kind of stuff. I think maybe that's how both of us got into it. Um, and, you know, we have Scottish Irish genes. So I don't know, maybe it's like in us to love that kind of music. A lot of Scandinavian too. We have Viking blood. Good to see her interest in Irish music. My folks allowed nothing else in the house when I was a kid. Well, that's a good genre of music to grow up with, I would say. What's cool about Karen's albums too is she collaborates with a lot of different people, including like people from other countries. Um, and it's really cool to see the results of those collaborations and the different types of songs they put together. Really just fascinating for me as a lover of music. I'm not a musician and no one wants to hear me sing, but as a lover of music, it's so fun to see what she comes up with every time. Also, a film called Songcatcher about a music teacher looking to score and catalog traditional music set in 1907 Appalachia. Ooh. Speaking of Appalachian music, love it. Nothing like a banjo and a fiddle. Ooh, that just, yeah. And some good harmony. The weather's looking good today, guys. Last week, if you were here for last week's stream, we had a full-on like thunderstorm going on. And it was really funny because I just so happened to be drawing a scene where a character had just come in out of the rain, like a torrential downpour, and I just thought it was so funny that I had a torrential downpour during the live stream. So poetic. But today it's nice and sunny outside, so I don't think we're going to be having any downpours during today's stream. My mom and dad's first language was Irish Gaelic. They were from remote villages in South Connemara, or is it Connemara? Unfortunately, there are only 50,000 or so native Irish speakers left. Really? Oh my goodness. That is crazy. So has English permeated Ireland that much that a lot of them are just speaking English? Like, what's happening with that? I guess an equally relevant question would be how many people live in Ireland, so that I can get an idea of the percentage of how many are like native Irish speakers. I'm gonna have to tell Karen that I played her album on the live stream today. She'll be so excited. Oh my goodness, I love this one. This is one of my favorite songs of hers. And she has such a beautiful music video that she filmed with it. This is the one, I think she did it in Ireland. I don't want to be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. Beat Up says, my great-grandparents on my mom's side were from Ireland. After my mom passed, I came across their papers from coming into Ellis Island. Wow, that's cool. They're around somewhere. My mom and her siblings didn't speak any Irish, and as far as I know, neither did her father. Michael says, I think the population is 5 or 6 million. Irish Gaelic as a native language was forced into western coast areas where it was the first language. By the late 19th century, the language was nearly gone. Wow. So that's, I mean, it's been nearly gone for a long time. It's so sad to me when any language goes extinct. Because it's like a huge piece of history that, like, people won't carry on necessarily unless they're, like, specializing in Gaelic. I mean, like, Native American languages, it's sad, like, how few native speakers there are left of certain languages because they just start speaking English, and then, like, it's, you know, only the grandparents are left that still know their native tongue, and so they're trying to pass on that oral tradition to the younger generation so that their language doesn't go extinct. I mean, how sad would that be? In the film The Wind That Shakes the Barley, set in 1920, a few of the characters speak Irish. Great film starring Cillian Murphy. Yeah, B-dubs, I had that one on a poll a little while ago, and it didn't win, but I definitely plan to watch that one. I am a big Cillian Murphy fan. Love him. I think he's a fantastic actor. And the premise of that film sounds very interesting to me. I think I would really enjoy it. Yeah, you're right, B-dubs. That was the week that I watched Far and Away. think I had only Irish films, or like Irish themed films, on the poll that week. Michael Collins and Brooklyn were the other two, yes. I remember that. Irish Gaelic is taught in schools, but English is the main language, but it still survives as a first language in these remote areas called the Gaeltacht. Did I butcher that? Probably. Okay, so English is kind of being taught as the primary language now in a lot of areas. I mean, makes sense with them being in the UK, but yeah, it would be a shame if... I don't think Irish will ever go away. There will always be native speakers of Irish in Ireland, but yeah, kind of alarming that it's declining so much. I think they should definitely keep teaching both for sure. It's starting to look like Julie Andrews, guys. We're making progress. I remember my heart sinking. I'm a fan of both Cruise and Kidman, but it was the least Irish movie on the poll. I am also a fan of both of them, B-dubs, and I really enjoyed the movie. I mean, the upside is like, if a movie you don't want to win wins the poll, there's always the chance that later the movie that lost will win a different poll, so not to worry. There will be other opportunities. And I've become known for making executive decisions lately, so I'm probably going to be doing that once a month. Mad's movie pick of the month, so you never know what I'll pick. I felt that it was necessary because some movies are just never going to win popularity contests, and that's okay. So, the movies that maybe aren't as widely appealing, they're more niche, those can maybe be a Mads movie pick of the month. Or who knows, I can pick popular movies too. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. Thank you, Michael. I tried. I just have to say, I am having so much fun with these live streams, and I hope you guys are too, because each week I have no idea where the conversation's going. We've talked about completely different things every week, and it's been so much fun. And I get to know you guys more too. You do a nice job mixing up the genres and eras with your movie reactions. Thank you, Michael. I try to keep a lot of variety because I like a lot of variety. I don't just like one genre or one time period. I mean, there's a movie in just about every genre that I like. You know, there's so many genres that I have a great time with, and different eras, as I said. So I try to keep a great variety going and never get put in a box. Even with the like westerns are my thing. That's my favorite genre. But I would never want to do just western reactions either because I love action movies. I love thrillers and mysteries and fantasy and sci-fi. I mean, I love all the things. So I would never want to just do one thing. And there's, you know, masterpieces from the 1940s and there's masterpieces post-2000, you know, so never wise, I think, to just confine yourself to one genre or one time period unless, you know, you really just want to have a very niche channel, which that's fine too. I notice a lot of younger reactors are almost allergic to black and white films. Glad you're not. No, I'm definitely not. I used to be. When I was a lot younger, like high school, I like intentionally would avoid old movies because I thought that wasn't cool and I thought they would be boring and not very good. So that's why I'm watching all of them now because I had never seen any of them. Didn't grow up watching them, intentionally avoided them. And what a mistake that was. Or maybe it wasn't. I would say it wasn't a mistake because now I get to watch them all now with you guys on the channel. And so I'm really glad I didn't watch them in my childhood and stuff because now I get to experience them as an adult for the first time and really have my eyes open to how good classic movies are and how wrong I was. We've had a lot of variety with the portraits too so far, which has been fun, like having a couple of Western cowboy portraits and then a couple of vintage leading lady portraits with Audrey Hepburn and now Julie Andrews. Been a lot of fun.
For Christ, they traveled. For his truth, they came. Into Tyrone, where kings, assassins waited.
I think this is a poem now. Let me see. Oh, whoops. Hold on.
Approaching the hill.
Yeah, this is a reading of The Miracle of the Deer's Cry that she has on her album.
Lay thick.
Oh, guys, we're almost at the end of the album. There's this one and then The Deer's Cry, and that's the end of the album. I think we might be able to fit in both albums or close to it.
At dawn. Concerned, the sun's light would reveal them. But Patrick
I'd say 12 Angry Men might just be one of my favorite movies of all time. Glad you got a chance to watch that one on the channel. Me too. That was such a pleasant surprise. I thought it could be boring, you know, like you don't know what to expect when you hear that a movie is going to take place entirely in one room basically, where you're not moving from set to set. You're not like going on a physical journey with the characters. I was like, how are they going to make it interesting, you know, for 2 hours, or at least an hour and a half? Like, how are they going to pull that off? And boy, did they. What a masterpiece of a movie. That's another one I want to watch again. And it's a movie that I've told people since watching it how awesome it is, and they don't believe me. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. You need to watch it. You have to watch it to understand how great it is. Forgot to mention it, but my cousin Karen, she also plays the harp. So the harp playing on her albums is her, so she sings, plays the harp, she plays a little piano, and she plays an organ. I mean, she's multi-talented. She can play like 3 or 4 instruments. She plays instruments that I can't even remember the name of. Because they're like medieval instruments. It's really cool. Oh, the harmonium. She plays the harmonium. We made it, guys. Album 1 complete. Moved to album number 2 now. The second album is the more Americana album. It looks like so far Stagecoach 1939 is the oldest film you've reacted to. I think so. B-dubs, what year was Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? Because that was another quite old one that I reacted to. Oh, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was also 1939. So, those are the two oldest ones I've done. Yeah, if we go back much further, we will be in the silent era. Yes, I don't know if that would work in reaction format, honestly. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how I would respond to a silent movie. I don't think I've maybe watched one silent movie in my entire life, and I think it was in one of my art history classes. I think we watched a silent film from like the Surrealist era, if you know about Surrealism and art. So, as you might imagine, it was quite a strange movie, and I was sitting there going, what the heck is going on? What is happening? Because it's surrealist, so it's supposed to be absurd and not make any sense. Yeah, B-dubs, you agree. I don't think that would work either. Or I don't think so either. Yeah. Silent movie reaction would be quite odd. You wouldn't have to worry about talking over dialogue. I don't know how many times I've seen comments saying, like, you're talking too much. We're trying to hear the movie. And I'm like, then go watch the movie. Why are you watching a movie reaction if you want to watch the movie? Go watch the movie. If you want commentary, go watch a reaction. It's very simple. I don't know why I just gave the YouTube troll that voice. It just sounded appropriate. Give him kind of like a bro voice. Why are you talking too much? I don't know. Just seemed fitting. Mel Brooks silent movie. I'm not familiar with that. Chaplin has some good ones. Fritz Lang's Metropolis is a classic, and F.W. Murnau. Nosferatu. I think I had Nosferatu on a poll. So apparently I was feeling very brave back during Madtober, and I was going to do a silent movie reaction, because I'm pretty sure I had that one on a poll. Like, nobody voted for it, but it was there. I think I've heard of Metropolis too, only because of Star Wars. Like, I think there was some kind of robot character in Metropolis that C-3PO was based off of. Could be wrong in my memory there, but I think that's true. Don't know if I've ever seen more than bits and pieces of a silent movie. Yeah, me either, Christian. I've only seen the one, I believe, in college. People complain about that on music reactions too. The reactor will pause the song to make a comment. People freak out. Then why are they watching a reaction, B-dubs? Yeah, it's like, if you want to hear the song uninterrupted, go listen to the song. I mean, if you play a song uninterrupted on YouTube, you're going to get demonetized instantly. People just blow my mind sometimes. Yes, C-3PO's design strongly resembles a character from Metropolis. Okay, so I was right. Thought that was the case. I gotta speed it up, y'all. I always look at the clock in the second hour and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Speaking of music and albums that I love, if you want to hear one of the best Christmas albums you've ever heard in your life, I know it's not Christmas yet, but there is such a thing called Christmas in July. If you're a fan of Christmas music, look up Tommy Prophet's The Birth of a King Christmas album. It is incredible. I've gone to the concert live twice. They're having the third one this year in December, but I went to the first two concerts live, and best concert I've ever been to in my life. Can't recommend it highly enough. It's so emotional, like, oh my gosh. Amazing, incredible, epic Christmas album. And just all of Tommy Prophet's music is pretty awesome. He does a lot of hip hop and stuff, but he also does a lot of like epic music. And he does some really good covers too. He's just amazingly talented with the collaborations he puts together, instrumentation, all of that. They did it at the Grand Ole Opry last year, and they're doing it again there this year. The first year was at Belmont University in Nashville. Then they upgraded to the Opry. Although honestly, I'm not throwing shade at the Opry, but my favorite venue was the Belmont venue because it was even smaller and more intimate, and just the setting, like, for one, the seats were more comfortable. In the Opry, you're sitting on benches with no cushion. But Belmont had these really nice chairs with backs on them and cushioned, much more comfortable when you're sitting there for 2.5 hours. But it was really cool just going to the Opry and seeing a concert live there. It was amazing. I actually got to meet Tommy Prophet last year after that second concert, and a lot of the musicians and singers who performed in it, and that was super cool. That was surreal because I've been listening to Tommy Prophet for like over 10 years probably, and that was just very surreal. They did a meet and greet afterwards, and I was shocked they hung around and did that. They had to have a cutoff point because people were just going to keep coming, but they did a meet and greet for probably like an hour, and I got in line as quick as I could after the concert was over, and I barely made it before the cutoff point. Barely made it. And yeah, that was just so cool. I also got to meet Cersina that night because she's on the album, and she's another singer that I've been listening to for like 10 plus years. Super nice and so talented. You'd appreciate the set design of Metropolis way ahead of its time. Probably. I think I've seen maybe a couple of pictures from it. Very futuristic sci-fi, right? I really like how this one's coming along, guys. I'm not gonna do too much on her outfit. I'm gonna keep it more simple. I'll do a little bit. Famous last words, right? Usually I'm like, I'm gonna go really simple and like painterly or sketchy on this, and then it's like 2 hours later. You know, I was really worried about the quality of this reference picture affecting the drawing, but it really worked out. It kind of forces me to be a little bit more simplified when I can't just see micro details in a reference picture. It kind of forces me to dial it back a little. And this picture made me do that. And I'm kind of glad. And here we are in the 21st century, still with no flying cars or teleportation devices, etc. It's true. Like, it's kind of funny when you go back and watch sci-fi movies now and they're like set in the 2000s, and it's like flying cars and, like you said, teleportation and all these crazy things that we still don't have. And it's like, yeah, we can't even get electric cars to function properly. They're like blowing up on the highway. Uh, like, I don't know if we're ever gonna have flying cars. I don't know if that's gonna happen. In this economy? And teleportation, scientifically, I just don't think will ever work. I could be proven wrong. But I just don't know how teleportation could ever actually work without disintegrating somebody. I mean, honestly. Flying cars, I could see that eventually, maybe. I mean, we have planes, we have rockets. Why not a flying car at some point? But teleportation, I don't think so. Just, I don't know how that would work. Honestly, this is kind of dark, but I think more what's going to happen is we're going to go more and more into like the metaverse and virtual reality because people try to escape the reality they're in. So I think way more realistic sci-fi is kind of like The Matrix or like Total Recall, where you've got people just sitting somewhere and they've got a device on their head or whatever, and they're just living in a virtual reality to escape the dystopian reality that they're in. I think that's way more realistic and possible. I mean, because they're already doing so much with virtual reality and AI and that kind of thing. So I think we're farther away from crazy achievements like flying cars and things, and closer to people trying to escape reality living in a virtual reality where they can fly a virtual car and virtually teleport. maybe the flying cars thing is just as well as many car accidents as there are if that happened in the air. There's a lot of potential collateral damage. You are so right, Christian. Like, aren't car accidents the leading cause of death in the United States? Imagine if those same people were trying to fly cars as opposed to just driving cars. That is a very valid point. No flying cars. I mean, we have enough near collisions with planes in the air. Imagine if everybody was also flying cars in the air. Terrifying. I will stay firmly planted on the ground. Thank you. Y'all can have your flying cars. I will be here on the highway. We already made extinct all the flying horses. Oh my goodness. And the dragons, B-dubs. Where are the dragons? I'm gonna go a little bit darker on this shadowy spot here. Kind of a weird shadow. I think it's because she's like standing sort of behind a tree or two in this picture, in this scene, and I think that's why there's this kind of weird shadow on her blouse. And the alleged winged buffaloes. Now that would be a sight. There were flying monkeys for a brief time in the 30s, but then everything went to the war effort. Oh, man. But what about when pigs fly, B-dubs? What about the pigs? Back in the Stone Age of my high school days, late 70s, there was a major bestseller called Future Shock. Not one of the predictions panned out. That's funny. Alright guys, I'm getting really close here, and I'm just trying to figure out what final touches I'm going to make here. Actually ahead of schedule on this one. I was getting concerned about my time earlier, but now I'm like, oh, going a little quicker on this one. I wonder if I'll start getting faster at all, or if this is an exception to the rule. Like, because I've heard some artists say, like, when they do a lot of portraits, very often they get quicker and quicker at them. Wonder if that will happen for me. Well, it's a good thing you did slow me down at the beginning, B-dubs, looking for music, because otherwise I would have been even more ahead of schedule. Yeah, that's true. No hats or scarves or anything on Maria's wardrobe. Whenever you have a hat or, like you said, a scarf or anything like that, adds a little extra time. She does have an insane pattern on this blouse, but I'm just kind of glossing over it. I kind of had it in my layout, and I was like, I'm not drawing every little marking on this blouse. I will not make the time limit. Doing a few final touches on the eyes here. Magnifique. I think I'm missing a little bit of depth in the shadow over here on her temple. That's a little darker than I've got it. Speaking of sci-fi, futurism, etc., have you had requests to do the Western sci-fi series Firefly? Yes, B-dubs, more than you can possibly imagine. And it's not that I don't want to, I would love to. It's just that with me only having time to do one reaction per week, if I did, how many seasons, was Firefly just one season? Maybe one season, like 13 episodes or something? That would take me 13 weeks, and then that's 13 weeks that I am not doing a movie reaction. People would be upset that I'm not doing movie reactions, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that, but I would like to watch it at some point. Like, there's another thing I've been putting off because I really want to watch Band of Brothers. Never seen that, and I really want to react to it, but it's like a mini series, and I think it's like maybe 8 or 9 episodes. So I have to pick a time when I'm willing to do that for like 2 months, because that's how long it'll take me to do the reactions to it. So that's why I tend not to do series anymore, because it takes so long, and then I can't do movie reactions. But who knows? The episodes are only 45 minutes. You could do 2 at a time. Oh, that's a good point. A very valid point. It would be much quicker doing 2 at a time. So it would be like if I combined 2 episodes into one reaction, then it would only be like 6 weeks. 6 weeks instead of 13. That's an idea. The last time I did a series was Lonesome Dove, and that took me 4 weeks. So it wasn't bad, because it's very much a mini-series. But yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know about the length on Band of Brothers. Now I'm curious, how long are those episodes? Because if I could do 2 at a time, it would only take me a month. You could still space them out if you wanted. Firefly 1 week, regular movie the next week. That's true. Alternating. I also wonder if, like, I could record ahead but release them on a weekly basis, if that makes sense. Like, if I could figure out a way to do it where I was doing like one Firefly episode on a weekly basis and also putting out a movie reaction. I don't know if I could work that out. I'd have to put it down on paper so I could look at it and figure out the schedule. But if I could get ahead somehow, like filming 2 Firefly episodes at a time, maybe that could work out. You got the wheels turning, B-dubs. I do really like Nathan Fillion. I've seen him in the series Castle. I do really like him. I want to say about 55 minutes for Band of Brothers. It was HBO, so they didn't have commercials to factor in. Okay. So Band of Brothers is more movie length per episode. Or, you know what? I mean, a lot of movies are 2 hours, right? So 55 minutes could technically fit in 2, like watch 2, and it would be like a 2-hour movie. Couple other unique Western themed series you might like are the Wild Wild West, 1965 to 1969. It's what the Will Smith, Kevin Kline movie was based on. Interesting. Haven't heard of that one. I'd love to see a Firefly reaction. It was a heavy source of inspiration for the series of space westerns that I'm writing. You're writing space westerns? That's cool. Very cool. And Kung Fu, starring David Carradine. The main character is a Chinese American who was raised in a Shaolin monastery, then flees to America as an adult, landing in California in 1872. Huh, now that sounds interesting. Okay, is David Carradine... Is he okay, who was the dude in Stagecoach? There was a Carradine in Stagecoach, right? Was it John Carradine or was that David Carradine? Was he the, like, Southern gentleman who was the, yeah, the Southern gentleman. Wait, David Carradine is the oldest brother of Robert Carradine, who played Slim Cunningham in the Cowboys. John Carradine is the father. Okay, I thought I remembered that being a Carradine name, and I was like, am I crazy? I'm not crazy. Oh, Michael. There's also the option of a 24/7 reaction channel. You know, I wish I could do more reactions, but I have 3 jobs, and that just is not possible. There are unfortunately only 24 hours in a day, and I do this for a living. I'm about to start writing my next book, releasing my second one, and also trying to run a movie reaction channel. My life is chaos already. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do more than one a week, but we shall see. There's also the matter of budget. It is quite expensive to pay for those reactions to be edited every week, and so if you start doing more of them, you have to pay more and more, have a bigger budget, so my budget would also need to increase. Patreon plug. Support me on Patreon if you want me to have a bigger budget for my reaction channel. Because I am an author and an artist. As you might imagine, I am not rich. I am so grateful to have Daniel, though, just plug for him, my awesome editor, because it got to where I just did not have the time anymore to edit my own reactions. It was stressing me out trying to do that because it takes at least 10 to 12 hours to edit a reaction, depending on the length of the movie, sometimes longer. So I was so stressed trying to do that on top of everything else, and very grateful to Daniel for taking that off my plate. So close, guys. I'm just trying to make sure I haven't missed anything at this point. Have to check everything over. There's also a Keith Carradine who's an actor. Interesting. Did not know that. There's a Western called The Long Riders, which stars all three Carradine brothers. That's cool. Also 3 more sets of brothers. Dennis and Randy Quaid, Christopher and Nicholas Guest, and James and Stacy Keach. Wow, that's really cool. Isn't The Long Riders about the James Younger gang? So that would be really cool if you had brothers playing brothers. Am I right? Okay, guys, I think we're done. Let me sign this with 4 minutes to spare. Why did I just do a British accent? I don't know. Let me sharpen this real quick before I sign it. And there we have it. She is done. Drawing Julie Andrews is now one of my favorite things. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. This was so fun. Always love talking with you guys. Just checking it over here. Yeah, she looks good. I'm very happy with how this turned out based on how pixelated and blurry the reference picture is, but she turned out really nice. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Thank you so much, B-dubs. Thanks for joining me, listening to some calm and relaxing music today from my cousin Karen. Be sure to check out The Deer's Cry. Their albums are on iTunes, Spotify, all the places. Check out the channel on YouTube, and I will see you guys next week for another Wednesday live stream for the next patron portrait. See you guys next week.